Hi, Deb Smith, life coach and licensed professional counselor. Today I wanted to talk to you about a process I developed called the Mariana Process. And it starts out with the question of why are you knocking on the door of a practitioner, a healer, a coach? What's actually going on? And typically the answer to that question is there's a discomfort, there's a pain, there's something missing in your life. Something happened, a tragedy, some grief. Something is wrong, something hurts, something is bringing you sorrow. That's typically why we go. A lot of times we don't start there. We start on the internet, or we start with our friends, or we start with drugs or alcohol or something that's going to help us not have to feel this, not have to experience this. Because sorrow and pain, discomfort, all of those things, it's too much. It's just too much for us to bear at times. And we just go to wherever we think we're going to get some relief. So if there's some ancient technique, if there's some snake oil out there, if there's something that's going to bring us relief, we're going to try it. Ultimately, we realize that's not how we get to true healing. We do need that loving witness. We do need help very often. We need someone to guide us on that path to healing. And hopefully, that person that you choose will bring a greater understanding that whatever is happening in your life, it's actually for your greater good. It's actually going to bring you to a higher level, to some kind of, or through some kind of evolutionary process. Yes, it hurts. I know that it hurts. They're growing pains, they're spiritual pains, they're emotional pains, and they're very, very uncomfortable. So I would always encourage you to find someone that can walk with you on this path. So once we find that person, the second step to that is illuminating the truth. We need to get to the truth of what's actually going on. What is the pain? What is the discomfort? Is this anxiety? Is it depression? Is it something that actually happened? Is it a life circumstance? What is it? Let's shine the light on it, and let's take a look at it, and let's explore it. No matter how painful it is, to be there with someone who truly cares, who someone who wants to help you in this journey and on this path, to be there with you, share this pain. It's very, very important. So when you're in this process and you're exploring this, with that light shining on this, you're able to look at the circumstances of your perception of that pain. So a lot of times we think some other person brought us this pain. But if we're able to look at that other person and have them illuminated to us, and we can see their pain, we're not condoning what they did, but we can see what they did and why they did it and how it actually came about. So I know it sounds very bizarre, but sometimes the worst person that you've ever met, the meanest person, the person who had the most malintent for you, can actually be your greatest teacher, can actually bring you to a higher level of functioning, to a greater level of compassion and forgiveness that you never even thought you were capable of. So sometimes we actually are grateful for the pain that we've been through, because we've been able to look at it with this glorious light shining on it and seeing, okay, I see where their pain came from, and I see how then they were causing me pain, or I see how this circumstance affected me, but now I also see this greater picture, this bigger picture. And it's bringing me to a place that I never expected to be. And that typically leads us to a greater global understanding, a greater connection to our community, to our family, to our loved ones. A higher level that we never would have achieved without that pain, without that suffering, without that sorrow. And that leads us to amazing joy and contentment and peace. It's not as simple as this. It's not this 5-minute process that I'm telling you about. It's very in-depth, and it can take a very long time. But I guarantee you it's possible. You can get there. So reach out, find that person, find that guide, find that practitioner, find the clinician, find the coach, find the clergy person. Find someone who can walk this path with you, bring you from sorrow to illumination, the truth about what's actually going on, to that glorious connection, and to joy. I encourage you to do that. Thank you so much for listening, and I wish you all the best. Take care.